Welcome back to another episode of the DJ Sessions Presents the Virtual Sessions. I'm your host, Darren, and right now I'm in the virtual studios all the way around the world in Seattle, Washington, being with somebody else halfway around the world over in Italy. We have DJs from Mars in the house today, rocking it out.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing over there?
Yeah, it's good. It's super hot today, so I'm melting under the mask right now, so it's okay.
I was just on another call with somebody from London, and they said it was extremely hot over there as well. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it was because they were in their studio and all the studio gear was making it hot, or just the weather was also kind of warm over there right now. But
No, the weather. Yeah, the weather in the last week is it's okay. It's summer. I cannot say it's bad because it's summer, but it's hot.
so what part of Italy are you all from?
From Turin, no one knows my city, but was the first capital in Italy long time ago. So it's a very nice place to be, to visit, and to live. It's close to Milan.
No, oh, okay, close to Milan. Awesome. Well, again, we're all the way over here in Seattle, Washington, in the States, and then it is turning into summertime here as well. Looking to get things getting things started back up again. Events and things are coming back, and we're out doing our stuff. So it's really awesome stuff. Wanted to jump right into something that really impressed me recently. I was doing some research on y'all before the show, and saw that you have over 250 million downloads of your views of your content of
Yeah.
your shows. That is just wow. I mean, I've been podcasting for years, since 2015, and back when we put our first episodes up in the iTunes store and got featured there, we weren't ready for that kind of publicity or success. We had never been featured like that in a major uh, distribution platform. So I can only imagine like how awesome it is when you put something up online and you just see the hundreds of thousands of views or even millions of views happening. So congratulations on that milestone. It sounds like it's just going to keep going and going and going with the amount of content
Thank
you're putting out.
thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about 10 years we are doing these kind of things, and in the last few years, bootlegs became the main things for DJs. Everyone is playing bootlegs from the house DJs to the techno DJs to commercial DJs. Everyone is doing that. So we were one of the first DJs that was doing that kind of thing. So probably is because of that.
Now, and you have something that you call, correct me, I hope I say this correct. It's boodlegography.
Bootlegography, yeah.
Tell our DJ Sessions fans a little bit about boodlegography.
Yeah, it's a kind of collection of our bootlegs. As I said, we have I don't know how many. I didn't count them, but I think more than 300 bootlegs and around. Because we also have some edits only for the live. We don't put it online. By the way, bootlegography, it's a collection of all our bootlegs all together. You can also find it on YouTube. It's easy if you look for DJs from Mars. All the bootlegs out there.
And one of your latest ones is Masked Wolf versus Hardwell, correct? Astronaut in the
Yeah,
Ocean versus Spaceman.
yeah, yeah.
Are those two separate tracks, or is the Masked Wolf versus Hardwell and Astronaut in the Ocean versus Spaceman? Are those two different songs, or are those one and the same?
No, in the end, it's only one song as a bootleg is, but it's meshed. It's mixed together. If you look on the net, you can listen very easy, and you can find them very easy. So you can check it, and usually we start from a song we like, and we try to find another sample that would fit the melody. But usually it's a random test. You test a thousand sample, and there is only one that is that one. You feel it, and usually it's okay.
Now, I noticed you said Astronaut in the Ocean versus Spaceman. Was there any inspiration behind the naming of that song, or were those already the name of the tracks that you're using?
Now we usually mix also the name of the tracks. Sometimes they are funny. The results could be funny, but it's always the name of the bootleg. It always came from the name of the track. So no other names in the title.
The reason I ask is because Astronaut in the Ocean kind of, it reminds me of a Doctor Who episode where they had one of the characters was actually wearing a astronaut, Apollo astronaut suit, and was kind of on this lake. And I didn't know if there was a reference to that in there, if you were a Doctor Who fan or not. So I thought it's kind of like, And I just watched that episode recently, so that's why it's like fresh on my mind, going astronaut in the ocean versus spaceman, and it was just kind of interesting to have that memory pop into my head. Um, by the way, how long does it typically take you to finish a bootleg, a production on average? I see you're just churning out a lot of these. You said over 300. And I mean, guys, if that's 10 years, I think you said 10 years, that's 30 per year, almost one every 2 weeks. Is that about right?
I think there isn't a rule because in the music, every musician knows it because in one night you can finish 2 tracks. In 1 week you can keep on the laptop for 1 week and without any results. It's the same doing bootlegs. So if you have a good feeling on a track, you can work and finish it in one night. On the other hand, you can work a lot without any results. There are good days and bad days. That's it.
And in addition to doing these bootlegs and mixes, you do a full-on stage performance. You have a whole act. You do this on stage. Do you both become different people once you put on a mask? You call it a helmet. You become a different person. Is it a different characteristic, or are you the same people on stage that you are off stage?
With the mask and the hat, you can do whatever you want. I mean, yeah, of course, you don't have a face, so you can get, I don't know, jumping on the people, do something like that, or you can do crazy things. And while you are without the mask, you are, I don't know, a quiet person. I don't know. We usually are quiet, but it's the energy of the people that gives you energy to doing things. So sometimes it's unbelievable what you can do on the stage.
Absolutely. And what measures do you take to actively promote yourself and your releases in your career? Do you have a solid PR team, or do you prefer a hands-on approach when doing things?
When we started by ourselves. We were doing everything 10 years ago. Then they came step by step some local promoters that was selling our gigs all over the world. And now the last news in the last years are Tiesto and David Guetta helping us with releases, bootlegs together, playlisting us, and they are giving us a chance to go on the next level. You know what I mean?
Well, I was going to ask, I mean, curating a brand and managing a brand can be a full-time job in itself, in addition to making the music and also performing and touring and all the travel time. So I was on your website, and I noticed you have a really awesome merchandise store. And I was wondering who comes up with what goes on those items and what goes into that store.
In this time of pandemic time, let me say, we have more time to think about what we can do around the music. I mean, music is the main thing. Our store was made during the let me say day off at home. So we were thinking what we can do for fans, for people that likes DJs from Mars, and that was cool. We have a graphic designer working with us, so It's also taking care about all the videos and all the promotional things. So he was working very well on the graphics, and we were very happy about the results.
And you know, have you looked to any? Have you done any live streaming events? And what has that been like, as opposed to doing in-person events? Have you seen the same kind of response? I mean, obviously, you're not right there in front of the people. You're usually in a studio. But have you looked into the world of doing live streaming, and how has that been for you and your team?
For me, live streaming is something that is not, we cannot compare it to a DJ set. DJ set, for the DJ, it's some feeling that you can have from the people, from the stage. During a live set, you cannot have that kind of feeling. So you only play what you like in a sequence you like. When you are DJing, you play what the people should like. So it's different. I prefer clubs. It's better when you go and play. I don't know. Instead of 1 hour, you play 3 hours because the club is still full, and you have a good vibe in the club. If you do a live streaming, you can have 1,000 people looking at the stream, but it's different. It's completely different. They cannot give you the same energy.
Mm-hmm. And have you looked at doing anything in virtual reality yet?
At the moment, no, no.
you I was didn't know if they were gonna have DJ from Mars avatars, and
Yeah, I saw someone is doing that on PlayStation games or stuff like that. But it's a lot of work behind that kind of things. So I don't know if we are going to do it.
Yeah, we're getting ready to actually develop our virtual reality nightclub. It's a multi-room nightclub that'll eventually grow into a complex that'll grow into a huge festival land in VR, working with the Oculus team and the Facebook Horizons team. So we're pretty excited about that. Just always trying to push the boundary, using new technologies to go further. And speaking of technologies, is there one piece of gear that you would say is quintessential, that is the backbone of the support of what you do to make your remixes? Is there a piece of hardware that you use or software that you really enjoy using or working with?
We have only software. We don't have any hardware. We have a laptop, a very simple laptop. We are on PC, not on Mac. And until like a couple of months ago, we were on Cubase. That was the main software for us for 10 years. Then we decided to test a little bit Ableton. That is a little bit easier, I think, compared to Cubase. And we'll see. We are testing it these days, so we are happy about that.
And producing dance music usually stands to be synonymous to spending countless of hours behind the computer, sculpting and producing the beats. What do you both do in your free time to stay fit?
You mean what I do in my spare time?
To stay in shape.
No, the shape it's only here. My shape is here. That's why the camera is very close. No, well, we like bicycle. We like going to skiing in the winter. I don't know. I like running, but I don't like to go running. It's it's something so funny to say. I like the thinking to go running. I don't like to go running.
Well, I recently saw that you both were on some scooters recently.
Yeah,
Our city is now populated with those things. I love them.
yeah.
I can get around town pretty quick now. Just hop on a scooter with your phone, dial it, click, and 20 miles an hour, and you're halfway through the city. It's really awesome. Something, though, I did see on your socials that I wanted to chat with you about for a second. And one would be, there's a picture of you two sitting at a table, and one of you is holding a cup of coffee or an espresso, something. And I was wondering, what is the official drink for DJs from Mars?
But we don't have an official drink like I don't know. Let me say this kind of vodka, the other kind of I don't know champagne. We don't ask for 1,000 bottle of very expensive champagne in the backstage. We try to be safe and drink water, but I could say to you that sometimes happen when we have a club owner that we know each other since maybe 10 years, we drink and the end of the night.
Yeah.
We don't have a favorite brand or a favorite drink. We try to go slow because we have the mask on the head.
Yeah, no, I've been to after the nightclub closes down parties with the artists and the bar managers or owners or promoters. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun, but it's after the show stuff, not during the show stuff.
Yeah, sometimes it's too hard to manage to play completely fucked up.
Well, I also noticed another picture. And I'm a huge foodie, and I saw this picture on your Instagram, and it was you were having lunch or dinner, and it was a poke bowl, and you described it as the original mashup food. And so, are you two foodies? Do you go out? Are you connoisseurs of food? Or you just kind of eat whatever's there in front of you when you're on the road?
We usually try to test local foods, especially when we are in Asia, in China or India. We'd like to test local food because if you are in a five-star hotel, you can eat pizza. But I already have pizza in my city, right in front of my home. So, and it's not Italian pizza most of all. So I'd love to test local food, especially Indian food. I love Indian food. It's very, very nice. The taste is amazing. Yeah.
What's been the strangest thing you've ever ate or been dared to eat?
I think in China we eat something strange. I don't want to know what I already eat in China because well, it was a really rough place, really, really not so clean, but was typical Chinese dumpling, and that was good. Well, that was one of the best dumpling in the world for me.
Awesome. Okay, and just a few last questions here. Tell us, we're going to jump back into music now. Tell us about the Alien Selection.
Yeah, we started long, long time ago. I think I don't want to say 10 years, but around 10 years ago, with this kind of radio show. And the idea was playing only bootlegs. At the beginning, the idea was playing only bootlegs that could have something about rock and metal rock meshed with dance. So it was so hard to find that kind of bootlegs. And then we decided to follow the trend even with the bootlegs. So now the alien selection is made by all the tracks we like every week, and people sent us the track, and we said, okay, we like it, we will play it in our alien selection. So if there is someone listening to us right now, just please send your tracks, them or whatever. Spotify links to DJs from Mars at djsfrommars.com would be a pleasure to listen.
Awesome. Well, is there anything you want to let our DJ Sessions viewers know about before we let you go? I know you got another interview coming up here shortly. So what's going on? What's planned for you? What's coming up?
We we are in touch with David Guetta, as I said, and we already did some remixes for him, and we'll see what happens when all Europe will restart clubbing, because it's a very big question mark these days. You never know what's going to happen let's keep the finger crossed. Let's thanks to all the fans all around the world that is always writing us, keeping us alive. Let me say, and we tried in the next few months to jump on the stage and keep the people dancing again. I really hope that it's something that I'm missing a lot. The only thing I said also to Luca is in the past we were used to going to sleep I don't know at 7 a.m. after party and after party or the after party and whatever. Now that is 1 year and a half, we are going to bed at least midnight. Would be difficult to go again on that kind of circle, you know. So, but by the way, I think the day we will be again on the stage, on a big stage, the energy of the people will give us the energy to play until the end. So it's gonna be cool.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, it's always was when I was going to the nightclubs as a kid. I've been, going out in nightclubs for almost 30 years, and I was a videographer. And one of the things that I always saw or heard people talk about was the energy of the previous week's show. And we talk about how awesome it was. And that would kind of pump us up to want to get us to the next show and want to keep going out. And I would be in these clubs and I noticed that nobody ever had a video camera in the club. Nobody was ever capturing these moments because even if you did capture, where were you going to share them? And it wasn't until, YouTube came out and you could put videos online and really share these experiences with other people. It was kind of an awesome thing to see. And then people could relate back to that video, but it wasn't the same as being there. And you had to have good editors too to make it compelling footage. You just didn't want to look like you were shaking the camera all over the place and want to make it look like a professional production. But it's going to be something. I think there's going to be a huge surge of energy of overwhelming sensation. I remember when we were doing the first ever drive-through raves about a year, in May last year, just about a year ago. And we were the first ones to do drive-through raves, and just being on stage and having that sound system playing loud and having people, even though there were 30 cars in the test lot that we were doing this in, because we were testing out the concept to pitch it to Insomniac and AEG, the bigger companies, Live Nation. And those people out in their cars just screaming and clapping and cheering and dancing. You forgot how much you missed that. And it was like shivers over your whole body. Just, wow, this is live performance. It has such a huge impact to people that is needed almost in a healthy kind of way to come together and collaboratively share a dance music experience. So I'm rooting for you to get back out there.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Where can people find out more information about you and what you got going on?
At the moment, we are quite active on Instagram, or I think that's the quickest way to get in touch with us. The Jazz from Mars officials, it's our Instagram page, and that's it. Also by email, jazzfrommars@jazzfrommars.com, but it takes a little bit longer to get the answer. So the suggestion is to check our Instagram page, interact, and let's see.
There you go. Check it on Instagram, DJs from Mars. I'm sure you just type in a Google search and everything will pop up for DJs from Mars. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. We'll try to follow up with you here next few months, see how things are going, and touch base with you.
Yeah, thank you. And I hope to see you somewhere.
Absolutely. Well, I am planning the trip over to Europe, London, and then we're supposed to go to the Greek Isles, possibly, and then maybe we'll see where things divert and go to.
Yeah. Okay. Let's keep in touch.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Don't forget to go to our website, thedjsessions.com. Find us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, hashtag us the DJ Sessions. This is Darren and DJs from Mars, coming to you all the way from Italy. And I'm over here in Seattle, Washington, in the virtual studios for the DJ Sessions. We'll see you next time, because on the DJ Sessions, the music never stops.